Are we live? We're on! And I'm sitting in a rocking chair here in the television studios of Whitmore Lake High School. We have a special guest today from our elementary school PTO. We have Lindsey Collins. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, welcome to Between Two Terns. Just as a reminder, if you're just tuning in, this segment or this communication replaces our typical Friday news and notes, and we do this once a month, and we've had some pretty cool guests, and we're expecting some pretty cool things from Ms. Collins today, our PTO president. So let's get started here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. You do you get to the high school much?
I come to the high school a couple times a month for school board meetings.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
isn't it?
it is.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
one of the people who thinks it's seriously exciting. That's good.
They are exciting to me.
Sometimes they are for me too. So tell us a little bit about yourself, though. I know you're a big Michigan fan. Wait,
No.
Wait, that was the last guest, I think. Sorry.
No, we are Spartans.
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
I knew that about you. Beyond that, though, how long have you been in the area? And I know you have kids in our school, so do you mind telling us a little bit about that?
No, we have lived here for 7 years. So I have 2 children. They are 5 and 7, so kindergarten, 2nd grade at the elementary school, boys.
All right.
So this is my first year with kids all day at school. So that's
okay. So
yeah.
Did you get nominated to be on the PTO? Did someone
Well,
grab
I
you?
did.
Did you do something wrong?
Well,
how do you end up being in the PTO and the president of PTO?
I started going to meetings last year and just kind of sat quiet at the meetings and just kind of took it in. And then towards the end of the year, there was going to be some changeover as to who was going to be president and board members. And so I did get nominated. I ran unopposed. But it's been, I've enjoyed it. I went from not speaking at meetings to now I'm running the meetings, so it's a bit of a change, but it's
better, isn't it?
It is better. Yeah, it is better. You can control it, right?
Because you can stop the meeting when you want to do that.
Yes, you can. Right. We keep our meetings to 1 hour.
Actually, I've always appreciated, I go to a lot of meetings, and I've been to a few of the elementary school PTO meetings, and the one thing I do always appreciate about them is they stick to the agenda, and they get done when they say they're going to get done. And so if people are listening and they want to be a part of that, that is something it kind of, you never know how the night's going to end sometimes in some meetings, but these meetings are really well run. So
yeah. We try our best because people are busy and they don't want to spend all evening at meetings. So.
True. All right, so explain to me, because when I first got here, we had a PTA, and sometimes I'll write about your organization, and I'll want to say PTA, and I've actually looked it up a couple times to make sure. Is it PTA or PTO? What we changed? What's the difference?
Okay, so from our research, we realized that to be a member of the PTA association, you have to pay annual dues. The PTO organization, yes, does not have dues. So we figured for our small school, we just didn't want people to have to pay to come to our meetings. So we switched to PTO, just to make things easier, simple.
Maximize the fundraising.
Yeah.
And make sure every dollar goes into the classroom. Good.
Right. Yeah. Good. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. That was a good explanation and a very reasonable one. So, what is the mission? Probably hasn't changed so much. So those are financial decisions. But what is the main purpose or mission of our PTO?
Our main mission is to fundraise monies to provide tools for the classroom, additional tools for classrooms, to provide fun events for the kids to go to with their families to enjoy, and to just connect everybody and partner with teachers and parents to make it a fun place for kids to come and, boost their sense of coming to school.
Yeah. So people would say to me, like, well, isn't that what I pay taxes for? And I'm doing that in a voice because usually when they say it, that's exactly how they talk. But that's a realistic question.
Yeah.
I mean, what do taxes pay for? Well, I could answer that. they pay for operations, they pay for salaries, and they allow for us to do a lot of things, but there's times when we want to do more, and we can only garner so much from that tax levy, but we want to do more, it's not always a good thing the way the system's set up, but that's the reality. If we want to do more, we have to rely on organizations like yours.
Right.
And I would say to people, it's a really good opportunity to get more unique things into the classroom to help children as much as possible and to help our school meet our mission. So, but what kind of people, what do they say when they get involved? Like, does the average parent just say, I want to get involved in PTO, or do you have to kind of go out and recruit them a little bit?
We do have to bring people in. I always say when we have a meeting that everyone needs to bring a +1. You come to the meeting, you bring a friend.
Uh-huh.
So, and we've had good success in that in our meetings. But to get back to what you were saying about the additional things that taxes don't pay for, one of the things that we did this year was our new music teacher came to us and wanted to purchase iPads for her classroom to use. And so she asked us for some funds, so we did approve the purchase of 2 iPads to use in her music room. And then I do know she went and got funds from a different community resource here.
Mm-hmm.
So she was able to purchase all 5. We also started the school year by giving each classroom teacher a $50 gift card to purchase resources at their, what they needed for their classroom to get started, just as kind of like a welcome back to school. If you need anything, please purchase
that's awesome.
it. Yeah, and but I do want to make sure that we purchase the Scholastic magazine subscription. And so I know kindergarten and first graders, they bring theirs home. The other grades, they share them. So if you have a kindergarten or first grader and you get one of those Scholastic magazines home, they use them, and so that's a good resource for teachers too. So, and those are not cheap subscriptions. So,
and they're pretty cool.
They are pretty cool. And now that we have paid for them as the PTO, approve that, when my son brings his home, we are sure to read it. Cover to cover.
Do you say that? Hey, you know how much that costs?
Yes, I do. Yeah, right. Exactly.
I walked into a classroom today and I saw a kid throw a book on the floor. And before I even commented, I made sure he knew the exact price.
Right.
And so. Yeah, but
right, so when they come home crinkled, don't crinkle these. These are a lot of money.
Yeah. All right, cool. I know you do a lot of fun things. I want to ask you what some fun things are coming up on the horizon for PTO. But I'm going to inject one because I know you take care of your teachers really well over there. They have Teacher Appreciation Week, and they get so much good food. I don't think I visit a lot during Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yes, we had a really successful Teacher Appreciation Week last week, and we actually had a lot of donations from parents who can't necessarily make it to our meetings or make it to any of the evening events, but they wanted to do something, so they were able to make a meal. And then we had a salad bar, so parents brought in different types of salads, and we gave that to the teachers for their lunch. They had a salad luncheon, and so parents, that was an easier way for parents who can't be there at night to still donate their time and their efforts to us to help us out. So
okay. So what are some what are you looking forward to? Spring, winter, summer?
Well, immediately coming up next Saturday, we're having our annual Mom to Mom sale at the elementary school. It's the November 11th from 9 to noon. And so, you rent a table and you sell your kid stuff because everybody has kid stuff and you don't know what to do with it. And so it's we had one last spring and it was very successful. Everybody walked out of there with bags of clothes, and all the profits go straight back to us, for the table rentals. So if you want to rent a table, you can email us because we still have.
What's a good email? What's that?
Our email is whitmorelakepto@gmail.com.
Nice. Easy to remember?
Easy to remember, yes.
Okay. Excellent.
So we have that. And then we also have our North Pole Night, which is in December.
Mm-hmm.
It's our big, winter carnival festival type thing that we are going to be planning for actually at our next meeting, which is next Tuesday.
I've been to that before. It's hard to find a parking spot.
It is, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. So So the money that's generated goes right back into the classroom. I'm glad you mentioned that technology project with our music teacher. I was actually in there today and watching how she interacts with that, and it went from 2 to like 10, and organizations that give money to the school like to know that there's another support, because they can't always do the whole thing, but if they know that they're contributing towards something bigger, and I'm glad that it gets shared with subjects like music, and PE gets involved, and we have these Chinese programs that need money now to get going. So we do take care of we make sure we have science supplies, we make sure we have math textbooks, but there's so much more. And I think the average teacher spends just to get started at the elementary level about $300 of their own money. So that's just to get going with things, because not everyone remembers their crayons on crayon day or and things. So they have to have extra supplies, and they do that because they don't want to slow down instruction. So I think it's awesome that you're helping. And you mentioned some of your big fundraisers, and some of the ways people can support PTO. Besides just coming and volunteering, are there other things, or are those two of the biggest things that they can just getting involved and contributing some time to help make these big projects work?
Well, yes, volunteering your time is the biggest, but not everybody, like I said, not everybody has the time to do that. So, we actually, for our North Pole Night, we are looking for donations for our silent auction. It was very successful last year for, businesses in the community to donate gift cards or, give little gift packages or something that the parents can then come to and bid on silently. And, so that's a good way to donate. Also, box tops. If you don't have a child in the school to send your box tops in, you can mail them to us or drop them off at the office. We just had a box top drive for the fall, and we brought in over $800.
Wow.
And just all you had to do was clip box tops, nothing, no money, you just bring your box tops in and we do the rest, and it's very profitable. You don't think that when you see them on there, but every, I know there's like a statistic of, like if 10 kids bring in, you bring in $1, if 50 kids bring in, so it works. So yeah, if you need a box top, or buy a shirt, we make shirts, that's a way to do, or just bring your kids to the events and tell us we're doing a great job. That helps too. Doesn't always have to be, monetary, just.
Okay. So when are the meetings? And
our meetings are the first Tuesday of every month. We meet at the elementary school library at 5:15. Come, and then we start our meeting at 5:30. We have free childcare. We have actually Honor Society students from the high school who volunteer so they can get their credit. So it's win-win, and they watch the kids run around in the gym. And some of them, they do games with the kids. So we don't want it to hinder you from coming as the kids. So we give them something to do.
Well, good.
Yeah.
All right. So, is there a way that people can get more information, and they might be watching this and hearing it? Is there someplace they can go to learn more about it if they're thinking about it?
We have our very own Facebook page. It's WLPS PTO. So you can go there. You can like it. We update, meetings and various events and different things going on, not just with PTO, but going on with the school and the district as well. So you can do that, or you can email us, and we'll put you on our email, list, and email you the minutes so that you know what's going on, or the ways to sign up that way too.
All right. So the information's out there.
Yes.
There's events coming up. Volunteers are appreciated. The mom-to-mom sale is a big one coming up. When I first heard that term, I had no idea what it meant. Now that I have my own children, I get it, because I have a garage that I want back.
Yes, well, and it's not just mom to moms. It can be dad to dads, or grandma to grandma, or aunt to aunt,
I feel like it starts with dads.
Yes.
Yeah, and like a lot of things ends up on mom's plate.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure why that is, but all right. So, well, thank you for answering those questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, I know a big thing that's being talked about at the elementary school, by kids and parents and teachers, is what's happening with the playground.
What's wrong with the playground?
Well, probably today it's like a big pond, right, from all the rain.
Yeah. Funny you should mention that and turn the tables on me a little bit. So I have to answer that one carefully. But we did, we passed a sinking bond, sinking fund, which is kind of like a bond that lets you fix things, right? And I remember people talking about the playground and not giving it a whole lot of thought because the actual purchase of equipment sometimes is hard to do with a sinking fund. Sinking funds are really meant for major repairs and not replacement of parts. That's why it's hard to buy. You can't buy computers with it, but you can rewire your building. You can get ready for the computers, and that's what we've done with technology. Playgrounds are kind of the same thing. You can't buy the swing set, so I really didn't think much about it. But having watched a spring go by and then a fairly wet fall, yeah, you can't. It's the same problem we have with our baseball and softball fields. We put a lot of money into those to make sure that you can actually play on them even after a little bit of rain. So yeah, we intend on doing the same things with the playground. At the very least, we're going to improve the drainage. But we actually have some bigger ideas that we want to share with the board to make it a really special place. And I believe there's support among the staff at the elementary, and it sounds like the parents and the students would like that too. So I would say the board will see some of the early phases of that at the November and December meeting, and then they'll start making decisions about fund allocation in the winter. And I'm expecting it to happen, but when we do it's always the big question. Right now, tentatively, we're looking at a summer this year 18 project, but it all depends on the money. So it's a good question.
I know my kids come home a lot in their backup clothes because they get muddy on the playground.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. Actually, I'd say the elementary school is our biggest target. The reason we waited to do it after some of these is some of the projects we're doing outside at the high school, they're fairly simple. They didn't involve a whole lot of design, and we knew we could do them quicker. There's design issues that we're working on right now. We have civil engineers that have looked at it already, and we have architects coming in to look at it later this week too. Later next week. So yeah, it's on our mind. Keep asking about it though.
I will.
And because you go to meetings, so you can ask, right?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look forward to those discussions.
All right. So anything else you'd like to know?
I don't know. I don't.
Okay. Well, again, welcome to this school.
I know.
And this facility. I'm eager that your kids are eventually going to move up into it. We'll try to make it a special place. I'm glad PTO does such a nice job with getting everything ready. People ask me sometimes, how come high schools don't have PTOs? We actually have... We don't like to tap into parents too much, but we have like athletic associations, touchdown clubs, and things like that, and it's pretty time consuming. So that's kind of how we ask for volunteers. But PTO, I've really been impressed with. It's been one of the nice surprises about being a superintendent to get to see how the whole district works and how much contributions your group makes. So thanks for being a part of it, and for volunteering so much of your time and being a guest on Between Two Terns. And we'll be back with news and notes next Friday. And I want to give one shout out to our girls volleyball team, district champs last night. Good job, ladies. And good luck to our cross country teams this weekend. Thank you for tuning in.